Cate Le Bon on the handmade art pop of her new album, Reward. Rolling Stone. Welsh singer-songwriter on her great new album, Reward, and the liberating possibilities of furniture design. The key to S dazzling new album, Reward, is a chair. Not just any chair. Le Bon is sitting in the cough of the Cooper Hewitt Smithsonian Design Museum on New York's Upper East Side, explaining why she put her career on hold to study woodworking. Since her debut, Reward is Le Bon's best work yet, a warm, inviting dream of an album. Highlights like the book, as inspired as she sounds on her word, though, she began the album in a moment of creative burnout. By early 20s, she was already interested in architecture and design, particularly the work of trailblazing 20th-century modernists like Frank Lloyd Wright, Craig Elwood, Le Corbusier, and Lena Bobardi, the designer of my all-time favorite chair. She couldn't take for the next 12 months. Le Bon and a dozen fellow students, you disgruntled accountants, retired dentists, a real pick and mix of people, you learned about dovetail joints and other artisanal techniques on a strict 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily schedule. It was the longest. The work was hard in other ways, too. I can remember Cate Le Bon at the Freehand Los Angeles in May 2019. Photographed by at night, Le Bon made music on a second-hand piano she'd bought for her room. Her first time composing without a guitar nearby. The songs she wrote. Once the program ended last April, Le Bon resumed her music career at full speed. First, she had recorded Crab Day at the same remote seaside studio a few years earlier, but this time felt different. Naively, so she booked more time in Los Angeles, where the sessions quickly unraveled. Everything went to shit. In August, Le Bon and co-producer Samer Kuja decamped to Joshua Tree, California. They spent another month. Le Bon's Reward chair. Photo credit last fall, with the album nearly complete, she returned to the Lake District for a final 2-week visit to build the chair she'd been dreaming of. Because Le Bon, you know, when you go to sleep and you're so preoccupied by something, it's flashing in front of your eyes? She says. I got to build a. She grows reverent when she remembers that last stretch of work with her hands, you choosing the wood at the lumber yard, milling it down, fitting the pieces together. It's really lovely. 2019 PMC. All rights reserved.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.